If you've ever wanted to learn how to play songs quickly on the piano, I'm going to teach you guys a simple method that I use and thousands of other piano players use to be able to play songs within 15 minutes. Even if you're new to piano, these steps should help you out tremendously in order to learn your favorite songs. All right, let's get into it. Step 1, understanding a basic chord chart. Now, if you don't know what a chord chart is, pretty much all it is you type in online like your favorite song and you say, what are the chords to Let It Be by the Beatles? And it'll come up, basically it'll have all of the lyrics on the screen, and above the lyrics will be like a letter of what the chord is. Now, if you know all your chords, which if you watch my video, I stress how important chords are for this reason, but all you're doing is just looking at when to play what chords. So it's super easy, and I'll show you what I mean. It'll make more sense when we put it into context. So let's pull up the chord sheet for Let It Be by the Beatles. I'm picking this song just because, well, one, it's the greatest song of all time, and two, it's a pretty generic song in terms of chords for beginners. So if you're just starting out, this is a good song to start learning. Now you'll see when we pull up the chord sheet, all I did here was just type in Let It Be chords by the Beatles and click on the first one. You can find hundreds and hundreds of chords for pretty much every song. So now when we look at this sheet, you'll see it starts out with intro, then verse, chorus, right? So you're getting a breakdown for the entire song here. And above each lyric, there are letters. Now, the letters refer to which chords are played when that part of the song comes up. So you'll see it starts out with an intro, and obviously there's no words there because it's just going to be that iconic intro. Right? So everyone knows that intro. I'd hope you know. If you don't, stop what you're doing and go listen to the Beatles song right now. But that's what that intro is going to be: C, G, A minor, F. Now, if you don't know your chords that well, I would say first step, if you want to be able to do the learn a song in 15 minutes trick, go back and learn the chords to whatever song you're trying to do first. It'll make this process so much easier. What you want to do next is break down the song into sections, right? The verse chords and the chorus chords. And then if there's a bridge, sometimes the chords are a little bit different in there. But for this song, it is pretty generic the whole way through. It sticks to that C, G, A minor, F pattern. And in the chorus is just A minor, G, F, back to C. So super generic in terms of what chords you'll be playing. But yeah, so let's start with that verse. When I find myself in times of trouble. When I find, as soon as you see the chord come up over that letter of find, you know that's when you're playing the chord, right? Myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me. Now, you'll see what I'm doing here is I'm playing chords with my left hand and my right hand. Now, if you want to go ahead and play melody with your right hand, that's kind of a different topic, and we'll cover that here in the next step. But I always like to learn the chords with my right and left hand just to familiarize myself with the song. And if you're doing a karaoke or you want someone to sing or you want to sing the song, it's just a lot easier to do it in this manner. So I always learn the song here with chords with my left and my right hand. It makes the song make a little bit more sense for me. And when I want to go back and add melody in it later, it makes it a lot easier to do. So the next step, like I said, is breaking down the song into sections. And I kind of mentioned this earlier, but like I said, when we're looking at this chord sheet, you'll see intro, verse, chorus, and in almost every pop song, major song, the verse chords and the chorus chords are going to be the same throughout the whole song. They're usually going to change. Like in this song, there is a slight change. Let it be on the A minor, let it be G, let it be an F, let it be to C, right? Whisper words of wisdom starts with C again, G, and then that walk down, F, E, D, C. So could get a little bit different, and that's kind of the next step why I said you want to make sure you know the song and the changes. Start with just learning the verse. That way you have all the verses down for the song. Next, you want to go ahead and learn the chorus. Learn all the chorus chords for the song, so forth. The bridge, usually I do last because that part could get a little bit tricky for songs. A lot of artists like to show their creative side with the bridges to songs. At least I do when I write. So bridges could be a little bit different than the verse and choruses, but for most pop songs, it's going to remain those same 4 starting chords through most of the song. So step 1, learn how to read a chord sheet. Step 2, break down the songs into the verse, chorus, and bridge sections and learn those individually. So step 3 is going to be kind of putting all of that together. And then if you want to add melody, this is the time where you start to do it. Now, melody could be a little bit trickier depending on your level of piano playing. The more you play and the more songs you learn, the easier you start hearing pitch. because all melody is in a song is hearing the pitch go up and down. And another word to think of melody is like vocals for a song, right? Like what is the singer singing? That's melody. So instead of playing just the chords for Let It Be, instead of this, you're gonna play the melody. Right? So that right hand's gonna be doing the melody while the chords will be played with the left hand. Now this trick could be a little bit harder if you're doing it by ear, but it comes with time. And so if you're just starting out, really start paying attention to pitch and melody in songs. And I offer a course called Hear and Play Piano, which is going to help you if you're interested in your ear training and developing that ear to be able to play that. And there's also a lot of free courses and lessons online if you struggle with hearing pitch that will help you. But worst case, if you're not to that level where you can do that by ear and hear how it goes up and down, the best way to do it is to just look up a YouTube video and look up how to play Let It Be by the Beatles and just watch what his right hand does with the melody for the songs. When I started out playing piano, that is exactly how I learned. I just figured out what he was doing with his right hand, kind of copied it to a T, slowed it down. I watched it in like half speed, and it made so much more sense later on when I started hearing pitch. I was like, oh, I understand why. As you go to the right, it makes higher sounds. As you go to the left, it makes lower sounds, right? So, and then another part to that is you're always going to be playing that melody in the scale of the song. So in this song, Let It Be is played in C major. So if you stay in that scale and you hear the melody go up and down, you should be able to play the melody kind of by ear. Like I said, if you can't do that immediately, I wouldn't worry about it. That comes with a lot of practice. I definitely, when I started, was not able to do that and just watched on YouTube how to play melody. But if you know your chords, you know how to read a chord sheet, you should, in theory, be able to play pretty much any song you want. All you have to do is just follow the chord sheet and play the chords that you see as they're written down. Super easy way to play a song within 15 minutes. Great, so now we have a pretty good understanding of how to play songs within 15 minutes by using chord charts and our knowledge of chords and then our understanding of pitch to play melody with the right hand. Now, of course, if you struggle with any of these topics, take a step back, go practice your chords, or at least for whatever song you're wanting to learn, just learn those chords for it. That's kind of how I started. Basically, didn't want to learn all the chords at once. It's a little overwhelming. So picked a song that was simple, started there, learned the chords to that, and then just added those chords to my arsenal for later songs. When I see those familiar chords come up, I'm like, oh, a C chord, that's super easy. And that's the same with guitar too, right? When I started in guitar lessons, my first job was just learn all the basic chords so that when I pull up chords online, I'm able to play most songs, even though I'm not the greatest guitar player, right? So a little additional tip there to help you out. If you're not great with chords, you're struggling with chords, there's lots of resources online. You can pretty much pull up a chord sheet online that'll just lay out every single chord for you. So whichever one you're struggling with, it'll have instructions on how to play it. You could also take lessons if you need to take lessons to help you with chords or with pitch. I know that helps a lot of people. Obviously, I teach a lot of stuff online for free. You can go ahead and look up all my videos, Danny Fisher Music on TikTok, Instagram, all that stuff. And then I do have a course also called Hear and Play Piano that will cover all of those details to a T. So if you're interested in that, you can check it out. If not, no worries at all. Again, piano does not come overnight. So while this is a tip to show you how to play a song within 15 minutes, you have to get to a level where you could play songs within 15 minutes, which honestly, a few months of practice every day, an hour a day, learning chords, you should be able to do this fairly simply. I promise it's not that hard. So my whole thing is piano is not as hard as you may think it is, prior to contrary belief or, a lot of people's experience with lessons. It's makes a lot more sense when you paint the simple picture of, well, learn your chords and then the rest kind of follows, right? Melody and pitch, that all goes hand in hand as well. So that's another, little helpful tip. Hopefully stay motivated, don't give up on it. I promise there's a threshold once you cross, things start clicking in your brain and it makes a lot more sense. It took me about a year and a half to get to that point. And I was like, you know what? It's really not that hard. Once you start understanding which keys are which, it's really not. But any other content you guys feel would be helpful for me to make, please let me know in the comments. I'd be very curious to hear. I'm just starting out on YouTube, so would love to help you guys out. Of course, I have a whole bunch of free how to play videos on my TikTok, Danny Fisher Music. Feel free to check that out if you want. But in the meantime, please like and subscribe if you got anything from this video, and let me know in the comments what you want to hear next. Thank you so much for watching.